based off your interaction, did Mr. Beast know about all this stuff that was happening? Number one, on the server, and number two, the way Chris spoke to minors and specifically you. Did Jimmy know? And did Jimmy not do anything to prevent it? Joining us now is the person who leaked the Chris Tyson Mr. Beast Discord, Nathan. Nathan, do you have a webcam you can turn on? Nathan, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. Do you have your webcam?
Sorry, I was just moving to my car because I have terrible audio in my apartment.
There we go.
I'm going to try not to show... it's going to be a weird angle because I'm going to try not to show my background.
That's fine. That's cool. You can just stare down at us. Well, how are you, man? Great to see you.
I'm doing great. Honestly, it's been a crazy couple days. Showing my background. This is not good.
Okay. Well, no, we appreciate you, man. The biggest thing, I mean, if you want to turn it off, that's fine. We just want to confirm it was you more than anything else.
No, it's all good. I just got to make sure I don't go that way.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So let's take it back here. First off, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry I'm so late.
That's okay. No worries. So you've had a very busy few days. First and foremost, what inspired you to come out and talk about all this stuff?
Honestly, seeing everyone come out about everything, but mainly seeing Lava's tweet kind of trying to shut everything down. The way I saw it was he was kind of trying to blanket everything with his tweet. And then seeing Chris kind of being like, this is the way I took it, not like quoting, but Chris was kind of like, see, look, I didn't do anything wrong. Lava confirmed it. And that was what made me be like, all right, I need to come out and say my piece and say what I know.
So it's more Lava kind of denying it, and you coming out. And so in your relationship with Lava, have you ever met Lava in real life, or is it just strictly an online thing?
No, it was just an online thing. There was definitely a lot of talks about, there was a big group of us who had become really close friends, and we had always talked about meeting up. And a group of the Discord mods actually did wind up meeting up in person. I wasn't involved in that, but that was a shit show. That did not go well. But from what I heard. But I was really close friends with Lava. We would talk on Discord all the time. Whenever we weren't doing things for the server, we were playing video games on our own or just talking in a voice chat. And we kind of had to be. We were like the two people at the top other than Chris in the server once it went public who were really the only ones who could do anything, like who could we had the final say other than Chris with anything that happened in the server for the most part.
So you were admins in the server. You were pretty high up.
Yeah, we were one true gods. That was the role. That was the role name.
Okay. So how old are you now?
I'm 21.
You're 21, and at the time you were a mod for the server. You were a one true god for the server. You were how old?
I believe I was just about to turn 16.
Okay.
So I was 15.
Got it. Now, Savvy over here to your right, she went through and she read most of the 500,000 messages that were dropped. She had some questions for you in regards to it. When I told her you potentially could be on, she actually had some questions she wanted to ask you. So, Savvy, by all means, fire away.
Hi, thank you so much for coming on here and chatting with us.
Yeah, of course.
It's not super easy or fun. First and foremost, how did you even meet Chris Tyson?
So it was actually here on Twitter. Well, not here on Twitter, but I met them on Twitter. They had put out a tweet saying that they needed someone to set up a Gary's Mod server. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the game Gary's Mod. But basically they needed a game server set up. And I just responded to the tweet because at the time, that's what I was like doing for a living. I was running Gary's Mod servers actually. So it was really kind of like at the time I saw it was really convenient. I was like, oh, I know how to do this. Like I'm doing this right now. So I immediately responded to him. And I remember he responded to me and said, just DM'd you. And he DM'd me a Discord server link to that Discord.
Okay, so you didn't create that Discord. It was already in existence. Okay.
Yeah, and I think Lava claims he created it, but to my knowledge, I'm not aware of that. I was never aware that he was the one who created it, because the first couple messages, if you look at the leaks too, he's not even in the first chunk of messages for a good while.
Yeah. He didn't show up till quite a bit later in the
Yeah.
first chat log. So he invited you into the server, and then did you guys DM privately as well, like to set up the game? Like, did he start trying to
Yeah.
get to know you?
Yeah, so we actually immediately went into a private, well, not a private, it was the Pablo's room voice chat. I don't know, there's some screenshots that have come out where you can see the names of the voice chats, but um, it was a voice chat with just me and him, where he was basically telling me everything that he wanted for the server. He told me I could shout myself out on the server, like put my social media. And when I went and watched the Mr. Beast video, of course, when they used my the clip from the server that I made, they show like 10 seconds of it, and they made sure they didn't show the beginning of the map where my social medias were. And I was like, bro, why did you even? That was just a big thing about that. I was like, why did you even tell me to link my socials if they weren't going to show it? That's kind of scummy.
Right. So right at the bat, you didn't have a positive interaction with Chris.
Yeah.
And was there any what was your day-to-day interaction? Did you speak with him daily?
Definitely not every day. In the beginning, I would say it wound up being almost daily once the server was going public. I think Lava said they spoke to her weekly. Is that what they said? I think that was what they tweeted, something like weekly, but Lava and them talked a lot more than me and Chris. But even then, me and Chris were probably talking every other day in the beginning, and then almost every day when the server was
Was that through
live.
voice chat or DMs or Snapchat?
All of the above.
All of them. Okay, so
Yeah.
you had access to Tyson's Snapchat.
Yeah, as well as their personal phone number.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you when it comes to Snapchat, were there ever flirting? Was he flirty with you?
The only thing that, like, the most flirtatious thing is him calling me dad. He would call me dad on Snapchat, as well as like,
And that's when you were 16?
yeah, well, that was like right in the beginning when I was 15.
Wow.
And he knew your age.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I told him my age.
Okay.
And go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, there were a few times like he would send me pictures of like just random things. It was usually him with like a random filter on, and there's one image that I actually have a screenshot of that I never posted because it seemed kind of irrelevant, but it was just a picture of him with the like female filter on, and it said I do me.
Mm.
And
Has
that
a
was
different
also
context now.
Right,
Huh?
right.
It has a different context now.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like relevant in the beginning, but now it's kind of like seems like could be involved or included rather.
Okay, so how long were you a part of the server?
So I believe it was 2 years, maybe a little longer than 2 years. From when I first joined to when I left. There were actually 2 different times that I left the server. I was never kicked or banned from the server like Lava claimed. And everyone knows that who was in the server. Chris actually, both times I left the server, Chris re-invited me to the server, like through DMs, sent me a link back to the server.
Why did you leave?
The first time I can't like exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure it was similar to the second time. It was just I was on it all day every day, and it was becoming a massive headache. Everyone in the staff team couldn't agree on anything, and we were all just fighting.
Mhm.
It got to a point where Chris just like uh basically gave up on the Discord server. We couldn't get him to do anything. Because at the end of the day, he was the server owner. So like if there was someone the same role as me and Lava, we couldn't do anything. So we needed him for a lot of the shots to be called, basically.
Was that in 2019 roughly? There was a segment that I read where Tyson came in and he acknowledged that some people left and said, "Oh my gosh, why is there so much drama?"
Yeah, I think that's exactly when I left. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
so whatever was going on, he still posted in general alluding to it, but that all of that drama took place in another chat.
correct. Yeah, I think a lot of it was in staff chat, but the thing is, so the great cleansing happened where we individually went through and deleted messages, but there was also times where there was a bot called Rhino. Now this bot was made by Ryan.js, who was in the server before he even created this bot, and it's now one of like the biggest Discord bots, which is crazy to me. But this bot has a purge command where you do .purge and then the amount of messages, and it'll just wipe them, and there's no logs of it. They're just gone. So a lot of the times when a lot of drama would happen, like say 200-300
Mhm.
messages over the course of an hour, someone would wind up just doing .purge 300 and just getting rid of the entire conversation. So um, that's why you won't see any of that drama, especially when it was public. We would quickly scrub stuff like that.
Now, do you have logs of the other channels or no?
Yeah, we actually do. I haven't tweeted anything about it because I wasn't completely sure if we were going to be able to release the rest of them, but I was just told that in the next 3 or 4 days we're probably going to start releasing the rest of the channels.
Why would you
Okay.
not be able to release the other one?
What was that?
Why would you not be able to release the other ones?
So I'm not exactly sure what's going on. They're kind of the person who found the logs on his computer, Cookie. He's kind of like finding them in segments. So he didn't find all of them initially, and then he just found the NSFW channel, which I think is
Oh
going to be
Lord.
like, yeah,
Ooh.
I think that's like the most damning. Although it's going to be like you're not really going to be able to see the images, but you're going to be able to see the commands that were sent to, you know.
And the conversation, because in general chat, he even alludes to the conversation. So I think that they'll be
Yeah, and there's even a message in general chat saying that the NSFW channel had more messages in it
than general.
than general. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you seen the NSFW chat? Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Were you a part of it when you were on the server?
Oh yeah, I was. Unfortunately, I was a big part of that channel, so there's gonna be a lot of messages from me in there as well.
How many people were in this Discord?
So initially, when I first joined, there was like 10 to 15, half of which was just Mr. Beast's team, like editors. I think the manager was in there. I don't know if he joined later. I know he was in there at one point. Jimmy was in there, Chandler, and then just a bunch of other random people that I didn't know.
There were
Right.
a couple of girls, I guess. One of them,
Yeah.
Brooke, and then
Mhm.
another one. Tyson had asked her at one point to get her brother to dress up like a trap. Is that something he would talk about in voice chat often?
Yeah, so are you referencing Halsey?
Yes.
Yeah, Halsey. Um, yeah, I think Halsey wound up becoming even no, I know Halsey wound up becoming even closer with Chris than Lava. That's like a whole there's a lot there. But um yeah, I think there was a reference to exactly what you said quite frequently. Um that was kind of like a reoccurring theme, especially like in the NSFW channel. But
Nathan,
there's a
question.
lot about Halsey that like we've kind of been struggling with because we don't really want to include her in it fully, but there's a lot that should be known of
Was
what Chris was
she,
doing with
how old
Halsey.
was she? Because I didn't find reference to her age. Do you know roughly?
I know I think she was like 18, 19 when she first joined.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was Mr. Beast in the Not Safe for Work channel as well?
So, to my knowledge, I cannot remember a single time that he sent a message in there, but he had access to it. But I can't remember a single time that he sent a message in there, honestly.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Sav?
Did you ever suspect Tyson of being gay or knowing anything about his attractions? Because there's a lot of shipping comments between Jimmy and Tyson.
Yeah, so there was a lot of information going around at the time, a lot of speculation that's kind of been confirmed about Chris like sleeping with other men. And at the time I didn't really like believe that, but I definitely was getting some hints based on the conversations that I honestly just felt bad for his I don't know I don't think they were married at the time. I don't know. Maybe they were engaged. His
They were
girlfriend slash
engaged the first
fiance.
time I saw the shipping comments.
Yeah, so his fiance at the time, I was kind of like we were all feeling really bad for her and knowing that that wasn't gonna last, basically.
So to be clear, he was talking about sleeping with other men as they were engaged before they got married?
Yeah, not directly to me. I mean, he would make jokes about it to me, but there were other people who kind of came forward slash showed us messages of him talking about sleeping with other men.
So he was cheating on his fiance before they got married. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did these conversations happen in the voice chat with other minors?
What conversations about?
Him discussing his love life, basically.
Conversations. These were like private text conversations that kind of weren't supposed to be seen by minors.
Yeah. Like there's no reason for a 20-year-old to be talking about his love life to 14-year-olds.
Yeah, so I really don't want to say this, and I'm probably gonna
You can, by the way, sometimes I ask really specific questions. If you don't feel comfortable answering, you can. It's fine. I'll move on.
No, it's okay. But the person who we found out that Chris was cheating through was actually Halsey. That was the person who Chris. It was through Snapchat with Halsey, Chris and Halsey.
Is Halsey a man or a woman?
A woman.
So
and she was what?
So not only was he cheating on his fiance at the time, future wife, with men, but also women.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't personally have any proof of this, but there was also rumors allegedly that he had paid Halsey a couple $100 to degrade him, just like with voice messages. And that was confirmed to me by several people in the Discord who had heard that.
When you say degrade, what do you mean by that?
That's just what I was told, just degrade. Honestly,
okay.
The way
Sounds
I
like
took it was
a humiliation fetish.
Exactly.
So let's talk about that though. Course. Right. Based off your interactions with Chris Tyson, do you feel like, he's obviously since, I believe based off the timeline, he began his transition after this Discord was closed. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Based off your interactions with Chris Tyson, do you feel like his transition is more of a fetish or more of an actual thing that he's gone through?
Honestly, I'd rather not comment on that because I've already gotten attacked so much for like that specific part of this story. Just the fact that he has transitioned and the fact that I'm not using the right pronouns, but this is someone I knew for years as Chris, the meme god, with someone who didn't care about pronouns and made fun of people who used pronouns and made fun of everything. So it's just still like, I guess I haven't fully grasped it in a sense. And so
Well, who's
I'd rather
attacking
talk
you?
a
You
little bit.
said you've been attacked. Who's been attacking you? Has it been trans
I'm
activists?
definitely getting way more support than I have been hate, but there's a lot of people trying to call me transphobic and say that I'm just doing it because they transitioned and things like that. Which is pretty ridiculous to say considering like this literally happened to me when I was a kid, and it has nothing to do with whether they transitioned or not. This happened, and it wouldn't have made it any different, you know.
Sav, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, just in terms of the voice chats, were you in the voice chats when Jimmy and Tyson were there together?
A few times, and the few times that I was there, I would say like 2 to 3 times in the beginning, and then Jimmy, like, I guess Jimmy became increasingly more busy with his YouTube channel because he eventually just stopped joining the voice chat channels. But the only times that I was there and Jimmy was there was when they were playing Counter-Strike and like CS:GO with like lava and tags and milk, and he was usually pretty quiet in the voice chat for the most part. I don't know if it's just because I was there and he didn't know who I was. Um, but anytime I was there, he was pretty quiet.
Did Tyson so we've seen the way that Tyson speaks on Twitter, on Reddit, on in the chat. Was he always like that? Was he always just making, lolly jokes and sexual
Oh yeah,
commentary? Yeah.
yeah.
That
Ever
was
since
pretty
I knew him,
common in
yeah.
his in terms of how you got his Snapchat. Did he give it to you or did you ask for it? If you can remember.
I can't remember. It wouldn't be right for me to make a to say which one because I honestly don't remember. If I were to guess, I would say I asked for it honestly.
Okay.
So,
Or got it through lava or something.
so you've been attacked for coming forward. You've had a, I don't know. Do you regret coming forward within the last week?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm still tripping on the fact that at the beginning of this interview or the beginning of this like live stream, I showed this like the edge of my apartment, and that's all I've been thinking about this whole time. I'm like, dude, I'm done. I'm like, they got me.
You'll be all right.
But
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
no, it's scary though because it's the biggest YouTube channel in the world, and it's basically $1 billion corporation. They have all the assets in the world. They can do whatever they want, for the most part. So that has been on my mind a lot, that it would have been a lot easier on my mental health to just not say anything, and then I wouldn't have to worry about anything. But there is the fear of retaliation. I'm not really too worried about any legal retaliation, honestly. I think they will like send a cease and desist or something, but for the most part, it's starting to become a genuine fear of me and some of the people involved, of just like us disappearing or something. I don't know, because it's become pretty massive, and we never expected it.
Okay, well let's be really clear. Do you have any interest in self-harm?
No, and I haven't in years.
Okay. Are you fit?
Fit?
Yes, are you fit? Are you at any point could you fall and die from a heart attack?
No.
Okay.
Yes, I am fit.
Are you a good driver?
I'm a fantastic driver.
Okay. All right. So you have no interest in self-harming yourself or self-deleting yourself at any point, correct?
Yeah, no interest in cutting my brakes anytime soon.
Okay. Well, so let me ask, so has anybody at Mr. Beast reached out to you?
No.
Nobody at this point has. Okay.
But you were presented with an NDA previously, I think, right? You made a comment about
Correct.
that?
Yeah, through lava.
Okay, so did he present you with a file or did he just ask, will you sign it? Like what is the full context around that?
So he was initially asking me if I would sign it and telling me like how much I would be paid. He was saying it was going to be $2,000 a month, and it was like I don't even know. It was like 20 hours of work a week. Like it was a great deal at the time.
Because you were only 15?
I think I was 16, 17 at the contract. I think the contract was actually 2020. So I was a bit older. And then he actually presented me with the contract. But he has since denied that ever happened. One second, I'm going to start my car real quick so I can get air conditioning.
Well, don't have it explode.
Oh, God.
So do you have the contract?
No, I don't. Not anymore.
Okay.
I've switched phones about 5 or 6 times since then, and that was through Snapchat, so I don't have that.
Okay. So we sent it through Snapchat, not through any other physical means.
No email.
No.
Okay.
Did you happen to look at the NDA?
I did, yeah.
Was there anything in there? You would have been too young. I guarantee you have no experience with NDAs, right?
Sorry, my car to my Bluetooth. What was that?
You don't have it. You probably don't have much experience with NDAs, do you?
No, not at all.
Was there anything in the contract that made you not want to sign it? Like, why didn't you sign it?
So there was actually someone who told me not to sign it, and that was the main reason I didn't sign it. I don't really want to say who told me not to sign it because I honestly don't think they'd care, but I don't know. I haven't talked to them about it. But there was someone specifically who told me not to sign the contract because they had signed a Mr. Beast contract and they regretted it. And they said I would regret it. So
why did they regret it?
Because they felt like they couldn't say anything about anything that was happening.
So, okay, that brings us down another rabbit hole here. What else is happening that we should know about that they can't talk about, but you can?
Well, have you seen Dogpack 404's video?
That's the video talking about the
lottery and the faking.
Lottery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say a lot of that is what the person that I was talking to wanted to bring forward, as well as just a toxic work environment and just a toxic work environment. That's it's been years since I've heard anything, since I've had an insider in the Mr. Beast team, but I did for a little bit, and as in a few years, but I've been out of it thankfully for a while now.
Was the individual who gave you this advice a minor at the time of signing their contract, or were they older?
No, they were older.
Okay, so you as a minor, though, was presented with the opportunity of an NDA.
Correct.
So even if you had signed it, unless your parent signs off on it as well, it wouldn't have been legally binding. You can't.
Yeah, and I didn't know that until like just the other day when someone told me that on Twitter. Yeah. I was like, oh, wow. So I could have just signed that, worked for them, and then it wouldn't have been legally binding. So I missed out on a bag for real. But
regrets.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. And you said it was only sent over Snapchat, though. Did Lava respect that you didn't want to sign it? Did he sign a contract? Do you know of?
Yeah, he signed a contract, which he confirmed. And we kind of had a little argument about it. I was thinking about posting. So I had taken pictures with another phone of the Snapchat interaction of him asking me about it, if I wanted to join Mr. Beast Gaming. And at the time, I was an asshole. I was like really mentally unstable. I was really, like I had said, and he had said, I was lashing out on people. It was not a good time. So I just started like clowning on him basically as soon as he offered me the contract or talked about it. And I specifically remember saying, I was like, you really want me to work for Mr. Beast for minimum wage? And but his reaction to that, he was pretty upset. He was like acting like he didn't understand. He was confused, and he was kind of trying to push me to do it.
Okay, so he didn't understand your disattachment from everything, whereas he was growing very close to Tyson at the time. That's your general recollection of that? Okay.
Yeah, that's when I was like, I'm pretty sure pretty sure I had left Chris's Discord server at this point. I'm almost positive. So it was a really weird time for them to be like, hey, you want to come work for us? You know, it was odd.
And that would have just been to create probably more game-related mods, right?
Yeah, so he was saying Lava was kind of like running the servers for Mr. Beast Gaming, but he didn't really, in his own words, he didn't know a lot about it, about how to run it. So I was basically going to be just his right-hand man who, whenever he needed help with like a command or something, I would just tell him what to do. I was basically going to be Lava's assistant. That was pretty much how he worded it.
Okay. So now this was a Mr. Beast presented contract for their actual company, not Tyson presenting something.
Yeah, it was a Mr. Beast Gaming contract, yeah.
Okay. And now you said that you also had access to some of the other people who worked for Mr. Beast. They were all in that Discord.
Okay.
Were they... Did they ever speak the same way that Tyson did? Did they ever engage in that same conversation style that Tyson would whenever around him?
Just Jimmy a few times in the screenshots that are shown, and also probably some things that got deleted by the Great Cleansing, honestly. But I hate calling that. It's so dorky. The Great Cleansing.
It's so cringe, but we're all like that.
That's what Lava said, bro. But
so let me ask you this, and this is probably the biggest question that people want to know. And Jake the Viking tweeted this out, and it just said Jimmy knew. Did Jimmy know?
13 million views. Sheesh. That's crazy.
Yes. So, based off your interaction, did Mr. Beast know about all this stuff that was happening? Number one, on the server, and number two, the way Chris spoke to minors, and specifically you. Did Jimmy know, and did Jimmy not do anything to prevent it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no way he didn't. Obviously, he didn't know what was going on in the voice chats when he wasn't there, but he was clearly talking in the chats. It's not like he was putting a piece of paper over his screen and typing in the chat and not knowing what was being said. He could see what was being said. Granted, he wasn't in it as much as Chris, because it was Chris's server, and Jimmy was becoming increasingly more busy, but he definitely knew what was going on, and he definitely, I mean, to me, it just kind of screams guilty, the fact that he changed his Discord, he removed his Discord profile picture and changed his Discord name and tried to, like, disassociate it completely. Really weird name that he changed it to, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
No, what did you change it to?
Strange. I don't even want to say it, honestly. It's just weird. I don't want to say it.
Okay.
Does it have to do with bodily fluid?
It has to do with a goat.
Oh.
Yeah. It's really odd. I tweeted it out, but I tweeted out a thread that shows that he changed it. But the thing is, they left his YouTube channels connected to the Discord. And it's, if you go in the Mr. Beast Gaming Discord archive, it shows that he's the owner of it. So there was like a Twitter note, a Twitter community note saying that it wasn't proven that Mr. Beast was ever in the Discord. It could have been like an imposter or something. And we actually got them to remove that Twitter note, the community note, by, well, someone else made a thread and I just retweeted it. That's all I did.
Just so we're totally clear, did you have any direct interactions with Mr. Beast in the Discord?
No, not privately. No.
Okay. So nothing inappropriate or anything like that. Not like with Chris. Okay. Just to be clear.
And I never had him on any kind of social medias or anything.
Okay.
Lava did. He followed Lava and stuff, but not me.
So, with all this said, what do you think? What do you think should be done here? What would you like to see done with Chris in particular in this situation? Do you think that there's charges that should be pressed, or looking at, walk me through what you think should happen?
Honestly, I just felt like it was wrong for them to be a part of the Mr. Beast team that so many kids look up to at this point. So I was pretty happy to see that either they stepped away or Jimmy fired them, whichever one happened, because they both said different things. I think that's for the best. As for charges, I'm not a lawyer or a cop, so I don't necessarily know. I mean, from what I've seen, a lot of people believe that charges should be involved. There's multiple people trying to push me to contact their local police department to like make a report. I'm definitely not interested in doing that myself. I don't think you'll ever catch me doing that, just because I don't want to get involved like that. I mean, I know I'm already involved at this point, but I don't want to get involved with their local sheriff's department and then have to go through all of that, if that makes sense.
I also don't think that the information that you have, while it's bad, it's personally reliant on you to do that, because you don't have any, like, he didn't send you nudes personally.
Correct.
He posted them in the Not
yeah,
Safe for Work channel, but he didn't send them to you personally.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But yeah, no, it's a very painful process to go through.
Oh yeah.
Trying to think of any other relevant or useful questions that might help.
Flash, you got anything? While Savvy thinks. Flabs, you got anything?
I'm processing. This is a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, so, Nathan, let me ask you this. What do you, I asked you about what you think, but is there anything that you feel that you need to add to this story, right? You said the Discord, there's more Discords that are, more channels that are going to be released potentially. Yes.
Correct.
Is there anything else that you feel like you should say right now, before those released, or anything else along the way?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I would just say to, man, you put me on the spot. My mind just went blank. I would just say to keep your eyes open for the next few days. Hopefully we will be releasing more, and I can add more to it. I've been trying to, I mean, this was years ago, so I've been trying to like scour my memory box, trying to like rebring all of this up, because this is also stuff that I kind of tried to like block out for a while. So honestly, I don't really know if there's much else I can add as of now. But
is there anything that you'd like to say? Like, you have a platform, obviously you can tweet it out, but is there anything just from a video perspective that you'd like to say? If Chris was standing across from you, like right now, what would you say to him? Or Ava?
Honestly, probably just like, why'd you do it? Why'd you throw it all away? Honestly, that's the one question, because he had it all. He had everything. It's like, I don't know why he made the decision to act the way he did. That's what I would like to know.
Speaking about that too, there were parts of the conversation where he ended up admitting that he wished that he could be a NEET and he just wanted to play games and watch anime all day. Is that something that he expressed often to you, like completely 180ing his life, even and walking away from everything?
Honestly, I can't recall. I mean, I know he would complain a lot about the shoots and stuff, but I don't even know what a NEET is, to be honest with you. I don't even know what that means.
It's commonly used for girls, but basically they want to live off of government assistance and do nothing all day. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he could have literally, that's the thing. He could have literally done that years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. There's a lot here, and we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate your bravery more than anything, speaking out about this. This clearly hasn't been tough, hasn't been easy on you. A very tough situation, and at the end of the day, you're 20, 21, but you're still just a kid, right? And you may not realize it, but you are. And the things that you dealt with as a child by Chris Tyson is pretty jacked up, man. And I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I'm sorry you're going to be dealing with that for a while. And you have a place to talk here if you ever want to talk about it. You know, this is an ongoing situation, and we appreciate your time and your bravery for coming in and talking to us today, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Just I appreciate you guys having me on. I apologize again for my what's that word?
Perspective there. No, listen,
My lateness.
Hey, it's great, man. Don't worry about it. It's awesome. We appreciate you genuinely, and I just want to compliment you on your wonderful hair.
Thank you. My girlfriend, she literally was going through all the comments on these posts. And there was one girl who commented and said I had nice hair, and she was like, I was looking through the comments on your Twitter post, and I saw this one comment, and I was like, you found the one, huh? Just the one. But last thing I want to say is just if I disappear, I didn't do it. I didn't harm myself in any way, so I don't know. That might seem like a little ridiculous to some people that I would actually think that, but genuinely that is a fear of mine, and it probably has something to do with my background of my mental health, but also it's a scary thing to speak out against something this big.
I hear you, man. Well, like I said, you're braver than I was at your age. So good on you, and keep fighting, man. I promise that you'll fight through it, and it'll work out. And this will just be a small chapter of your life, man. Just keep fighting the good fight.
I appreciate that, and also I wouldn't have been able to. This wouldn't have been possible without Cookie. Honestly, Cookie and Zim, and Adam. This wouldn't have been possible without them, because after I made my first video, everyone was calling me a liar and saying I had no proof. And I really didn't have much proof until Cookie came forward with all of the proof. So, yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you, and stay safe out there, okay?
Thank you.